Welcome back, guys, to the United Line Football Channel. What a game! This is a review of the Champions League game versus FC Copenhagen at Old Trafford at the Theatre of Dreams. And what a game it was! Nerves. You have to have nerves of steel to get through that last minute of the game. When I saw that penalty was given, I was like, same old United. Multiple chances, we didn't take it. And it came down to last kick of the game to Onana, our goalkeeper who is having a very poor season. The last couple of games he has stepped up. He has cut out the mistakes, and I was like thinking like Maguire and Andre Onana, they have been so criticized heavily in the past. And Harry Maguire got the goal, and I was saying maybe this is what Andre Onana needs. Maybe this is what he needs to kickstart his season, kickstart his career at Old Trafford, at Manchester United. And he came up with a brilliant save from the penalty to guarantee us 3 points in the competition and to keep our hopes of advancing to the next round in the Champions League alive. What a save it was. I'm so excited. I'm so hyped. I'm so happy for the victory, for the performance. It was flat in the first half, but give the guys credit. They came out in the second half and they got the job done. A little bit nervy in the end, very wasteful in the second half, but we got the job done and we move on to the next one. And I'm so happy, so excited for this victory. And we go marching on and on and on. Woo! That being said, let's get into the game. Let's do the review. Beginning with starting 11. So the starting 11 was Onana in goal, left back Sergio Reguilon. He came back in the team after like 5 games out with injury and illness. Centre back was Harry Maguire. He kept his place from his match-to-match performance in the previous game. He was with Rafael Varane, Diego Dalot. Midfield, Amrabat, McTominay, and Bruno Fernandes. On the left, Marcus Rashford. On the right, it was Anthony up top, Rasmus Højlund, playing against his boyhood club. A good night for him at Old Trafford. When 11 came out, I was like, Rashford is there, Maguire is there as well, Scott McTominay. I get why Eric Ten Hag chose to play Scott and Harry Maguire. They did really well in the last couple of games, and he gave them this game. He started them based on merit, based on the performance that these guys have done in the past couple of games. That's why he chose them to start. But Marcus Rashford again starting and again not delivering. I think it's time to take him out 11 and give more minutes to Garnacho. We'll get to that in the player ratings a little bit in the video. But let us do the game. The first 10-15 minutes. So this was a game in which we know we had to win. A game we know we had to be aggressive from the first whistle. A game in which we had to be clinical. We know that we had to win this game. The manager himself said it. It is a must-win game. And if you, as a manager, know that, you have to channel that energy into the squad, into the 11 that you pick. You have to channel that energy into these players and let them know that this is a must-win game. You got to be up for it from the beginning, from the first whistle until the end. You have to be up for it. The 3 points are there. You have to go and earn it. It's not going to be given to you by FC Copenhagen. You got to go out there and earn it. And we begin the game so flat. Copenhagen, they hit the post in the first 10 minutes. We were just wasn't up to it from the start of the game. In fact, the whole first half, we were so flat. We weren't pressing aggressively. We weren't getting bodies up the pitch. It was just so flat. We had like two good moves in the first half. That was about it. Copenhagen, they began the game with them front three tucked inside, and they were deep. So they would occupy our centre backs and our wing back. They were occupying the midfield. About the space between our defensive line and midfield line. They were in that little channel, in that little gap. That's where they were situated in the first half. And Eric Ten Hag, he made a change at halftime, and he brought on Ericsson for Amrabat. Amrabat wasn't having a bad game. He was just not effective. He was being marked out of the game. And Eric Ten Hag, he wanted more control in the midfield. He wanted to transition the football from our defensive third midfield to attacking third. And Amrabat was not doing that because he was outnumbered in that midfield. In the first half, Bruno Fernandes, he came deep to play beside Amrabat to have our next option for us to progress the football forward. Did that work out? Eric Ten Hag made the change, and we have to commend him. We have said it before on this platform that don't be afraid to make the changes quickly. Don't be afraid. We have 5 subs. You can use 2 changes at halftime. 68 minutes as well, it is okay to make the change as quickly as possible so you have enough time for the change to come into effect. So you give give the team enough time for the change to bear fruit. That's what happened with Ericsson coming in at halftime. He added more creativity. He got on the ball a lot more. His passing range is a lot better than Amrabat. And with our 2 centre backs virtually free of attackers in the first half, it was a good change to make, and a change that I would have done as well. And Ericsson, he got assist for a Maguire goal. Again, Eric Ten Hag, that was a brilliant move, and it paid off. Second half, we were dominating possession. We were getting forward, we were creating chances, but we were not converting our chances. After we went 1-0 up, Copenhagen, they began to attack more, like have more bodies up the pitch, and they were going with 3 versus 3 at the back. And that is why we had so many chances after we scored. We had numerous chances in which we should have scored at least 2 of those chances. Garnacho, he had 2, McTominay had 1. Bruno Fernandes, a little bit more composure in the box, you might have 1. Marcus Rashford, he had 1 where he hit into the 3rd tier. So there were chances there to have Ericsson. He had a shot from a layoff by Rasmus Højlund. The keeper made a wonderful save. But all in all, we need to be more clinical. We need to take our chances. We need to be ruthless in front of goal. We need to put these teams away as quickly as possible. As you guys saw, in the last minute of the game, we considered a penalty. And this video would have been a lot different if we had conceded and drew that game. It would be a totally different video. But for now, we take the win. And we need a better performance from these guys. Be more clinical, more ruthless. And that was the game in a nutshell. The game, that was it. The subs, Ericsson came on at halftime for Amrabat. Wonderful 45 minutes. 68 minutes, it was Garnacho and Lindelof. They came on for Reguilon and Anthony. And then in the 85th minute, a bit of confusion with the substitution. It was supposed to be Marcus Rashford, but in the end, Højlund came off for Anthony Martial to see out the last 5 minutes of the game. And with subs, I spoke about this change for Ericsson, the substitution for Regulon. It was done, I think it was premeditated. I think before the game, he was told he's going to get 60 minutes to get back his fitness up to the standard that he wanted to be, up to be match fit to play 90 minutes, and he got 60 minutes. And at that point, when Anthony came off, he was coming into the game, but Erik Ten Hag, he wanted to like be more flexible with subs later on, so he made that change then and there. Because even though you have 5 subs, you have 3 windows to make that subs in. So he was mindful of that, and he pulled Anthony for Garnacho, who, apart from those 2 chances, he was playing really well. He was attacking, and that's what you want to see. Players coming off the bench, be ready to go out there and take a chance. Be ready to go out there and be positive. Be ready to play for the badge and be aggressive and be direct. And that's what Garnacho gave us. That was a game. Don't want this to be a very long video. Let's get into player ratings and my man of the match. Onana, he gets a 9. He gets a 9. He gets a 9. A 9, a 9, a 9. He made a save before we scored in the second half, really early second half. A brilliant save at 0-0. And that save kept us in the game. I thought that if that had went in, the game would be a lot different for us. It would be very difficult for us to break down Copenhagen. Because if that had scored and they went 1-0 up, they would have 2 low blocks of back 4 and a 5-man midfield, and it would be very difficult for us to break them down. Wonderful save kept us in the game, and then that penalty, nerves of steel. He was so calm, he was so cool. I don't know if he was putting on a brave face, but like he knew he had it. Like he was so confident he was going to save it. He kept his eye on the penalty taker. He kept his eye on the football, and he moved at the last moment that he could, and he pulled off a brilliant save, and it kept us in the hunt for a knockout place in the Champions League. Well done, Andre Onana. Well done. His passing was a little bit off because he had to go along with his passing. With us playing Harry Maguire, didn't want to take the chance of playing those short passes in and around our box. He went long, so his distribution was a little bit off, but all in all, goalkeeping skills, that's what you get your bulk of your marks for. He did wonderful. He gets a 9. Left back Sergio Reguilón, going back into the team after 5 games out, injured, and he was ill on the weekend. He gets a 6. A 6 because of the clean sheet that we kept. Didn't really do much going forward, and he got spun multiple times in defense, and he made some wonderful passes taking the team forward, but it was an average performance by Reguilón. He gets a 6. Harry Maguire, he gets a 9, and is also man of the match again. That is back-to-back man of the match for Harry Maguire. He scored a goal, but he did his defensive duties really, really well. He did his defensive duties really, really well. He kept us in the game. He kept a clean sheet, and he get his head and all those balls into the box. Yeah, he kept us in the game. His passing was brilliant again, and he kept his form going from the weekend. It was a well-taken goal, and Harry Maguire, this is what they have been criticized for since he came to the club. Get your head on these footballs in the box at both ends. This is why you were so criticized, and you did it today. And for me, I give you your praise today. A wonderful game. Man of the match, 9. Rafael Varane, I thought he was good. He did some really well defensive interceptions. He had like 2 times when he cleared the ball from coming in, a couple blocks as well. His passing not as good as Harry Maguire, but he was just a class defender. He did what was needed. He kept the football in front of him for most of the time, and he dealt with his duels really well. His heading ability as well. He gets an 8. I don't think he was as good as Harry Maguire. He gets an 8. Diego Dalot, he will have better games going forward. It's a 6 as well. He didn't really do much defensively, much in an attacking sense. He had a couple of runs where he overlapped and got a ball into the box. That was about it from Diego Dalot. And there was one time when we were leading at the 80th minute, he was lost up the field. He was slow getting back, and Bruno Fernandes had to be covered and make a brilliant tackle to preserve our lead. Diego Dalot, you need to be positioning better. You need to be aware, and you have a better game going forward. I don't know, maybe it's fatigue creeping in. Maybe you just have a reserve game with knowing what comes next on Sunday. All in all, Diego Dalot, he gets a 6. Amrabat, he gets a 5. And he gets a 5. 6 is an average performance. He gets a 5. Not because of his own fault, but because of what the team was doing to him, and he did not find an answer to what was being done. He was close marked by 2 or 3 attackers at the same time. He had no space to work in the middle. He could not receive the ball off our centre backs, and he was not able to progress the football from our defensive third midfield to attacking third. There were spells when he had some wonderful passes out, but for majority of the first half, he was man-marked. He was totally out of the game, wasn't affecting the game, and as such was pulled at halftime, replaced by Ericsson. He gets a 5 today. Scott McTominay, he gets a 6. Wonderful, wonderful play up until a penalty again. He started the game as a number 10, and then at halftime he went back to play number 6, which he did really well. He protected the back 4. He was strong in the tackle, but you need to be more aware. You need to start being clumsy in the box. This is the second penalty you're giving away in back-to-back games. I thought the penalty was a little bit harsh. It was given for a high foot, or as they say in football terms, a high boot, dangerous play. That's why the penalty was given. Did not make contact with the attacker, but it was dangerous play in the box, which resulted in a penalty. And you need to be more aware, Scott, and make better decisions in the penalty box. He was really good going forward. He had a brilliant chance that he should have taken. It was a rebound from Garnacho's shot. The keeper made a save. It came out. The keeper was still on the ground. Goal was open. He could have picked his spot. He put it wide. Scott, 6 today. Better game on the weekend. Bruno Fernandes. Now, the first half, it was 4. Second half was 6. Someone gave him a 5 for the entire game. Bruno Fernandes is our most creative football player, and he needs to be high up the pitch. He needs to play closer to Rasmus Højlund, and his passing is in the attacking third was off. He didn't get involved in the game as much. He had a couple of chances where he picked the wrong pass. When we were making a counter attack, he picked the wrong pass. And as our captain, of our leader, he needs to be more integral in the game demand the football. Give him credit in the first half when the ball was not progressing. He dropped back to play beside Amrabat to progress the football up the pitch. Give him credit for that. But Bruno Fernandes, by your standards, that's a 5 today. On the left, Marcus Rashford. The less said about Marcus Rashford, the better. It's the same thing again. He's devoid of confidence. He had one where he was showing goal and he took a bad touch, a heavy touch, and the keeper came and claimed the ball. There's one where he was offside. Marcus Rashford is so quick. You need to be aware. You could have hold your position, hold your run a little bit longer. Knowing with your pace, you would have outrun these defenders. His passing wasn't good. He was tackling. He was trying to be involved in the game. But it's just not good enough. At this point, Marcus Rashford, you're not contributing. You're not assisting. And you're not scoring goals. Give the minutes to Garnacho from the beginning. Give Garnacho a starting place, Eric Ten Hag, and take out Marcus Rashford from the starting 11. On the right was Anthony. First half was anonymous. Didn't really do much. He gets a 5 as well. Didn't really do much in the second half up until he was substituted. He was getting involved. He was linking up really nicely. He took a shot. He put some balls in the box. He was getting into the game at the 68-minute mark. And when he was pulled, I was like, give him 10 more minutes. But again, it was premeditated before that Reglan would be subbed at the 68-minute mark. And as such, Eric Ten Hag decided to change things up a bit and add Garnacho. He came on to play on the left. Marcus went to the right. He gets a 5. Rasmus Højlund, he gets a 6. 6.5. I'll go 7. He gets a 7. Ideally 6.5, but there's no halves. So I will give him a 7. Proper number 9. Link up play really good. He had he held the ball up really nicely, and he provided a chance for Christian Eriksen in the second half. It was a wonderful save by the goalkeeper. His hold up play, his link up play, he's running the channel, he was aggressively tackling, he was pressing high up the pitch. This is what we want from our number 9, and he will come good. Playing in this United team, it's a graveyard shift. You won't get a lot of chances, as was today. In the first half, he touched the ball like maybe 15 times the most in the first half. That shows you that we weren't really attacking in the first half. In the second half, the whole team, the tempo lifted and the crowd was behind the team, and we created more chances. The ball was higher up the pitch and he was more involved in the play in the second half. His link-up play really well, strong, strength, back to goal, perfect number 9. He gets a 7 for this one. Then get the substitutions. Christian Eriksen, he gets an 8. He gets an 8. Now Eriksen, persons are saying to me, why don't I ask for Eriksen to start, as I've been doing with Garnacho? It's just that Eriksen, he is not as mobile as before, and he doesn't cover as much ground. When he was starting last season, even to the latter part of last season, at the 50th, 60th minute, he would be fading out the game. His legs, stamina issues, he just wasn't up to it in the latter stages of the games, and as such, he's better suited coming off the bench than starting. And Eriksen, he came on, and this is what you need to do on the bench. You need to be better prepared. You need to always be prepared. You need to always be ready to come and contribute. Coming off the bench is an opportunity to get minutes, opportunity to go out there and lift your team and to contribute. That's what he did. He didn't sulk while on the bench. He came on halftime, and in the halftime, I could watch him warming up, and he was going through his drills. He was hyped. He was motivated. He was pumped up. He was ready to go. So Ericsson, he gets an 8. Link-up play was really good. He kept things sticking over middle of the field. That assist for Maguire goal, wonderful assist. Had a shot outside the box that was wonderfully saved by the goalkeeper. An 8. Garnacho, he gets a 6. I think he should have scored those 2 chances that he got. He was 1-on-1. He was throwing goal. You need to convert those chances, Garnacho. You need to take those chances. You need to be more clinical in your finishing. You need to be more ruthless in front of goal. As you can see, if we had conceded from that penalty that last minute of the game, it would have been a different video. And I am happy for the win. But Garnacho, take your chances going forward. Victor Lindelof, he gets a standard 6. He came on, see out the game, show up defense. Wasn't attacking like he did on the weekend. He was just held his position, playing the balls forward, keeping possession, recycling the football. That's what he was doing. He gets a 6. Anthony Martial, standard 6. He came on late. Didn't really do much. Didn't really affect the game. He gets a 6. Standard 6. Eric Ten Hag, he gets a 9. He gets a 9. He was bold to make those subs when he did. The Ericsson sub to take out a player that you have coached before. A player that you, the man that we get, to take him out in this a very big game at this stage in our season. That was a bold move and a correct move, and you did not delay. You made the change really early, and you gave the idea time to manifest to see if it was working or not. That is a bold move by Eric Ten Hag. Starting 11 was okay, and you made the adjustment in the first half where you put Bruno Fernandes to play deeper beside Amrabat to progress the football through the midfield third to the attacking third from the defensive third. The other knockback is that we need an identity. We need to see, we need to play like Eric Ten Hag team. That was not evident today. We would have played from the back because of Harry Maguire defensive line. We understand that, and you did okay. Clean sheet, 3 points, a win, good subs, good changes. Well done. Thank you guys. That's it for this video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment. Please leave a comment, and I will respond to those comments. And we move on to the next game. We move on in the competition. It's a big game on the weekend, and I do that preview on Saturday. But for now, we keep marching on and on and on. 3 points in the group. Victory for United. Thank you guys.